Welcome to Primal Survival. It is winter time here in the Ozarks, the beautiful Ozarks that I have the pleasure of living in. If you're new to the channel, I've been living here about 10 years and I've been working on my homestead. As my investment into, economic trouble, food shortages, whatnot, I decided to go into goats, and not just any goats, but Nigerian Dwarves. The reason why is because they can breed all year round, so you can stagger them. You always have milk. They're meat goats as well. If they're breeding more often, you're gonna have more meat to eat. Goats are great for bartering. Not even meat or cheese or milk, but just a whole live goat. So if someone else wanted to start their herd, you could give them a buck and 2 does, trade them for, I don't know, something good, because that's life, that's sustenance, that's food for you and your family. And goats multiply pretty quick. It's odd if they only have one. Nigerian Dwarf, if they just give birth to one kid, it's usually 2, 3, sometimes 4. So you can double or triple your herd in one kidding season, which is nice. I'll tell you how much it took me to get started. It took me about $1,500. So it was like $500 for 330 feet of linear fence that I got from Tractor Supply. And in the next video, I'll show you how I set it up. This is just a goat introduction video. And then for the goats, I found a real good deal. For 6 goats, it cost me $700. For 5 nannies and her does, properly it's doe, for 5 does and 1 buck. So it was $500 for the fence, $700 for the goats, that's 12, and then a roll of hay. One of the big hay bales can go anywhere from, if it's a good season, $50 a bale, which 1 bale will feed my 6 goats for 2 months. But I paid $70 for the first bale, and then now it's wintertime, it goes up in price, the food, and I paid $80 for the next bale. So 70 and 80, that's like 150. And then, grain, I bought some grain. You buy some medicine for them, some dewormer minerals. So I would say I'm in it probably about 15. And they are just a joy. All right, let me flip this around and y'all can see them. So here we got Henry David Thoreau. He's the buck of the place. He's a polled buck. And he's sniffing up the wrong tree because she just had little Buster. That's Buster right there. But I'm glad he's getting his mind on mating, because I haven't had him that long and he's just been kind of like figuring out his way and whatever. But a polled buck means they were born naturally without horns. And there's a 50% chance that his offspring are going to be polled. So having goats with no horns to farmers and people that want pets is a good thing, because horns are a liability. They can get caught in a fence, they can hurt other goats with it. So usually they'll debud the kids, which is a completely different topic. So, look at that little guy. That's Buster and Cappuccino. And they just went into our pallet house that's skinned in tarp. Super cheap. It's a windbreaker. It's already protected them in -4-degree weather. And they're fine. So I'll introduce you. So over here playing on the log, we got Penny and Sheriff, their brother and sister. Penny is the littler one. She's the only doe we got. Now, when I bought these goats, they were already bred. We didn't know it. I didn't know it. The lady didn't know it who I bought them from. They were already bred. And so I got 4 goats for free out of that deal. Those 2 belong to Big Mama. Same markings. Look at those beautiful face markings. They just come down her face. Hi, girl. Oh, she's a pretty girl. Whoa. And then we got, this one has a lot of names. Her original name was Ember, but I renamed her to Mocha because Cappuccino is her mother. But then she's very skittish, so I call her Little Red Riding Hood. She's just kind of darting in and out. She's wild, basically. Like, she came with Cappuccino and she was never handled. She came off of a ranch that actually had 40 goats, and they just let them run wild on 80 acres. So if you want your little kid goats to be friendly as they grow, you got to handle them every day, I would say, which isn't hard to do. So goats will eat up everything. They are browsers. They like to eat brush. They like to eat things that are higher than them, you know. So then here's Henry David Thoreau. He's a gentle guy, but actually he can get going. He really starts butting with his no horn head, but it doesn't matter to him. He's tough as nails. And then the winter coat is just so shaggy. I love the way they look. I just love goats now. They're just amazing. So in the winter time, this is a heated bucket, which they're low on water. I better do that after this video. It's not plugged in, but I can. I'll go over how to make these different shelters for goats in my next couple of videos. This is my bale of hay. You never want your hay to get wet, so I cover it with a big oversized tarp, and it does the job. So now over here we got little Samson. He was a single kid that came out of Oreo, and he is just cute. He's super hardy, super thick, super fluffy. Amazing little kid. Just an all-around an awesome guy. So here's Whitey and then Samson's mother, Oreo. But yeah, these are my goats. And they are just happy. They are just having a great time. They've been stripping the bark off the trees. Because, I mean, what does one do all day, you know? Alright, thank you for watching Primal Survival. If you found this video fun, entertaining, or informative, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and share to other goat lovers if you just want to get into it. Now, I've only had these goats for about 2.5 months. I haven't milked them yet, haven't done anything like that. But now that I got babies and kid goats, the milk's coming. And I need to get a milking stand and make a different corral for them to go in so they're separate and all that fun stuff. It's a lot of fun. I love having these goats.